Today, we're taking a look at the Ford F-150 Lightning Platinum Edition. There's quite a bit to be said about this truck, and we're going to take a look at this truck during the day, we're going to take a look at this truck at night, we're going to check out some of its lighting features that are looking really nice at nighttime. We're going to do some interesting shots of the underbelly, some self-parking, acceleration tests. We're going to talk about its utility, its hauling ability. We're going to take a deep dive on the inside, test some features, check out the back from the inside to the outside. And at the end of this video, we're going to tell you exactly who this truck is built for. And hopefully that helps you in your buying decision. But first, I'd like to say thank you so much to William, to Chris Irons, and Chris Smith from Build Tally Ford. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's start our review by looking at the most important part of any truck, and that is the cargo bed and the tailgate.
Sweet. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Let's see. So you just step up like this?
Yeah, getting onto this truck is super easy with that step. When you're inside the bed, you can actually see that it's a pretty standard 5.5-foot bed with tie downs and a really handy light that we'll check out in a little bit. But the number one thing, the most impressive thing, is this onboard power that Chris is showing right now. This is, you get up to 240 volts right there. You've got some standard plugs at 20 amps a piece here. These are really nice. Altogether, you get 9.6 kilowatts of power.
Power's on. Let's see. It's blue. No, it's not letting me. Hold on, let me
Turns out, all we had to do was go inside the truck and turn on the onboard power, just like that. And when you do that, things tend to work a lot better. So that's all you really have to do. And you can actually from here turn on all the power in the frunk, in the trunk. There's a great explanation exactly what needs to happen. Once you know this, it's just makes life a lot easier. And actually what I thought was useful was to show this footage right here of Ford engineers demonstrating what you can power with your Lightning truck.
These lights, okay? So I'm going to turn on the step mixer mark and I ask you to turn on that for me if you don't mind. So right there, we just consumed approximately 2,300 watts of energy, okay? So what was the capacity again? 24. Very good, thank you for listening to that.
Moving on.
You can see this, you can actually open the front, or you can operate your tailgate
with this button. Oh wow.
Tailgate.
Let's see. All loaded up.
One of my favorite features on any trim of the Lightning is this beautiful frunk. I mean, this is just amazing. It's a dry frunk, it's 14.1 cubic feet of space, and on top of that, inside, you get 4 outlets of standard 120 volts, 20 amps a piece. You've got your USB-C, USB-A, and everything is protected with this green switch. Also, in the frunk, you have access to the 12-volt battery, which is super handy. If you need to change out the 12-volt, it's right there.
And another thing, you've got your AC lines right here.
Yep. This is your charging system that comes with. You go to the beach house, you can take this with you, and you can unplug their dryer.
Just plug it right.
Hypothetically,
now let's talk about charging speed. If you install a NEMA 1450 plug in your garage and using the mobile charger we just mentioned, you can get just over 7 kilowatts of power to your Lightning. That gives you about 14 miles of range per 1 hour of charge. So 14 miles for 1 hour of charge. Now you could step that up from the mobile connector to the Ford connected charging station, which an electrician will have to install a 60 amp circuit that will deliver 11.3 kilowatt to the Lightning, which gives you about 20 miles of range per 1 hour of charge. Or for about $1,300 when available, you can buy the Ford Charging Station Pro, This allows you to use the truck's battery as backup power during outages. And this charger will also provide 30 miles of range per every hour you charge. There is a charging port on one of these sides, and I believe this is the side. This is the charging port, and this is amazing. You pull up, you charge here. This is great. I like the fact that you could see the charge here. You could lock and unlock right here. However, let me show you something. On this side, what you will find is actually the same exact looking port. This is almost identical to the other side, except there's nothing here. And wouldn't it be awesome? And I actually saw this in one of the comments of another video, and I think it's the best idea. Why not, instead of a charging port, which actually putting a charging port would be great, but why not put AC plugs here? So if you just want to power something from here, you just do exactly the same thing, but just have AC without opening the frunk and everything, because the frunk does have it. So instead of doing that, why not put some AC plugs? So Ford, if you're watching this, it's a great idea. It's not my idea, but it is a great idea to have some plugs out here where you press this, you press a button, it unlocks, and you can plug something in. Just something to think about. Now let's take a look at the payload and the onboard scale of this truck. The Platinum edition of this truck goes up to 1,600 pounds of payload, which is a little less compared to the 2,200 you can get with the standard range battery. The battery itself adds a lot of weight. So when you have some payload...
Well, that's good. What's it say?
You can see exactly what you're dealing with, how much load you have in your truck on the scale.
That's very interesting.
Now, with that said, the battery size will also directly affect how much payload you can have in the truck. So if you've got a smaller battery, you can have more weight in the truck than, say for instance, the extended range battery. And then if you've got the Platinum edition, you've got even more weight inside this on top of the battery. So you have the least amount of payload you can put is in the Platinum edition, which is 1,656 pounds. Now when it comes to towing and when it comes to payload, your range will go down significantly as you add more weight. Aerodynamics has to do with towing and things like that, and that's something we will test separately in a different
Next
video.
up, let's take a look at the seats and the interior.
First of all, the headrest has speakers in it, which is absolutely amazing. It sounds great. The seats themselves are super comfortable. They have something called Nirvana leather seating with tuxedo stripes, and they have massaging like you wouldn't believe, all sorts of upper, lower, full recovery massage functionality, and most of all, it's got heating and cooling. In the back of the crew cab, you have plenty of power to power anything you need, charge batteries. You've got everything from your 12-volt standard cigarette lighter to 20 amp 120 volts AC available to you. You can see right here it says 120 volts, 20 amps, up to 20 amps available to you, along with USB-A, USB-C on the left, and of course you can power these off if you've got kids sitting in the back seat.
Speaking of the kids, you can have them separated and you can have a little cup holder between them, right?
Yep.
And then also when you lift this up,
Oh my goodness.
so this right here is lockable storage. Right now it's actually locked closed, so it doesn't rattle, you know, it keeps it nice and quiet. I flip this up.
Oh my goodness.
It has a divider if you need it.
Yeah.
If you're putting a large drive, if you want to put your tripod in here, you don't want anybody to steal it while you're in the mall, you put this down. You can put your side down by pulling that little, and then if you look right here where the seatbelt is on yours, you see where you put the key in on the outside. See
Right here, yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
So you can lock both of these seats down, and
I
you
see.
will not be
And
able
you will
to
not
get
be
into
able to.
anything under here, and most people probably wouldn't know.
That's awesome.
No.
Well, you could put anything in there. I mean, you could even
If
have
you're
a...
going hunting, you know.
I
anything
was
like
just
that,
thinking, I was like, a rifle could fit in here
camera-
easily.
Sure,
Camera equipment.
And then again, it locks down, so we're not rattling around up there.
Now, is this something available only on the Platinum, or is this available on all
No,
of
it's
them?
on the other trim.
On
models
all of
as
them?
well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look how much I can't get over how much space you get in a truck.
Your sliding window is controlled right here.
Oh my goodness.
And
That's
then
nice.
I don't know if you got the panoramic roof or not. You do one touch for your shade, it'll go halfway. Once it hits the halfway mark, you can pop it again. and you have that panoramic view. If you need a little air, you can, I can't see my buttons, you can vent, or you can actually bring this whole panel back.
Oh wow. And this is as far as it goes?
Yes,
Which
and
is
then, but you
plenty,
can also just give you a little versatility. So if you got kids in the back, you know,
Right.
like you said, you got little ones, they're napping.
Yeah.
You bring this up, keep the light off of them.
Yeah.
You and Mama are good to go up here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's see underneath here.
Okay, great. So this is where the motor is right here, and that motor is connected to independent suspension on each side. So every motor is connected to independent suspension on each side, allowing each wheel to independently go up and down. Comparing that to the Raptor, the F-150 Raptor, you can see that the axle is firmly connected, and the suspension, as it goes up and down, the other side will go the opposite. So if one side, one wheel goes up, the other wheel will go down, and vice versa. Comparing that to a completely electric chassis where you have your motor up front, you've got your battery, which is most of the weight, right in the center, low to the ground, and of course you have the second motor in the rear here. And with this shot, you can clearly see the independent suspension to each wheel. So basically, you get much better performance than a regular F-150. The one thing that we truly wanted to take a look at was underneath the truck to see what it really looks like underneath, but the lifts were taken up that day at the dealership, so we decided to just drive over my iPhone. And here's what it looks like underneath the chassis.
Oops, stop. Okay.
Spot found.
So I shift into neutral. You hold the park button to take the foot off. It is steering. Now if I touch the wheel, touch a pedal, or take my finger off that button, it'll stop.
Right. Oh wow. So it's gonna go forward a little bit? Nice.
Puts it in park.
That thing take off. Go. Yeah, we went from 32 to about 45.
30 to 60 that quick.
30 to 60. Yeah, that is way faster than I thought.
So right now we're in Chaco Slip, Richmond, Virginia. We're right next to the Martin Agency. We're checking out the Ford F-150 Lightning in the dark conditions. The spotlights are these right here. That's the spotlight right there, the first one?
The first two, yes.
The first two,
Here.
and then the, okay. Oh, okay. One more time. And how do you turn it on? Let me see this one right here.
So I just have the the power to the zone lighting on.
Yeah.
And I'm controlling, these are your mirror lights. So this is going to be my bed, your overhead bed light. and also I believe it's the reverse lights are on back there, and then my headlights, which are already on.
Cool.
Well, just toss it up and walk away, which I think
that's
is
cool.
gangster. I like
Yeah.
that. Ohio.
Yeah, you just throw it up. Grab the lightsaber and go zzz.
Got my old Mike McGill skateboard. You guys wouldn't know about that. That's from the 80s, man.
Nice.
And then, you know, your Happy Meal tray.
Yeah. The only thing about this, I've been thinking a lot about this guy, and the only thing, like, I think it'd be better if there was just a way to move this up and have a seat here. So instead of having, because you don't need this. This is just like a gimmick thing, but it's nice. But if you move that out, get another seat in there.
So that's what I have in my truck. It's
Do
actually,
you really?
It is not the most popular option.
Really?
People have to order every now and then to get somebody and they'll want a bench seat, or sometimes they call it the grandpa seat. You
Yeah,
know?
I love those.
But you know, I got it in my truck because in my head I'm like, my dog's gonna have their head out the window. My wife's gonna sit next to me. I have my arm around her. We're going out down the road.
That's
you know?
it.
And,
That's basically it. Why
but
not
this
do
is,
that?
This is a lot more popular. This
Is it?
configuration. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
No, I mean, it makes sense, but to me, what I would prefer is instead of having this thing go up and down, not
Sure.
have this here at all, have it on the screen. I do like my cup holders, but having the ability to move from that side to this side, that's
Correct.
amazing. You just,
Correct.
you don't want to, you park over there too close, you just walk out because there's so much room here. There's no transmission pillar here.
yeah,
or-
right. Yeah, that's
What's-
a really good point.
that's-
There's nothing under there
like-
to hinder you. Vest, and then you got your big boy. Oh, so this was.
Oh, there's two of them.
This was open.
Yeah, that's nice.
I call this the gun box. You know.
Nice. Yeah. Looking at the screen at nighttime, you probably noticed that it switched from light mode to dark mode automatically on sundown, and you can actually tailor that to your liking in the settings of this truck. There are hundreds of settings and hundreds of features that did not make it into this video because there are so many. One of the things we're looking at is towing and hauling. We want to attach a more realistic trailer, something that is less than 17,000 pounds, and see what the range is like, how to attach trailer, pro trailer features, and things of that nature, just to see how things work. Overall, we found this truck to be absolutely amazing. It's kind of groundbreaking, even if you don't actually need a truck. For instance, if you're working on the shed, something like this, and the house is pretty far away where you can plug in, what you can actually do is park the truck right over here and have all the power you need to work on something like this, the shed. So even if you're not a contractor and you're working on a project such as this, it would be absolutely amazing to be able to cut your lumber and have your chop saw and everything right here where I have the Jeep. You have your truck plugged in, or truck right here, and you plug in and you start working on the shed right here. Because, you know, I do have my drill and everything. However, the chop saw and everything, I have to go all the way by the house where it's plugged in to chop every single one of the beams. So there you go. However, if you do need an actual truck, if you're a contractor, if you're a builder on the construction site, whether you're building houses or you're doing things where you require power or generators, you no longer have to bring a giant generator, make all that noise. You just plug it into this truck and you can power almost anything reasonably and go about your business and actually drive home and have all of that room to put stuff in. There's a lot going for this truck, especially if you're looking for a truck that doesn't stand out visually too much. It doesn't draw too much attention while having all of the benefits of being fully electric. This truck is it. Now the big question is how well this truck is going to do against the Cybertruck and all of the other offerings coming in 2023. However, until then, I am currently reviewing this Ford Mach-E GT Performance Edition. I'm super excited to post this video, so please consider subscribing. It means the world to us and it keeps me motivated to make these videos. Until then, thanks for watching. This was Ford F-150 Lightning.